Hi guys, this is Nistha from Scholar Strategy, and today I'm going to talk about LinkedIn. So I know all of you have a profile on LinkedIn, but I feel that many people, many students especially, are not using all the functionalities and not leveraging the power of LinkedIn as you could. In the first video of the series, we are going to look at how can we create a more effective basic profile, and from there we'll probably look into some other advanced features later on. So in this session, I'm going to cover how to create an effective LinkedIn profile, especially geared towards your internship and job hunt in grad school. So here we go. Okay, so as you know, and we are going to look at some LinkedIn profiles, your basic profile, what we are going to cover today is your headline, the summary, and positions description. So let me describe what I mean here, right? So I have some LinkedIn profile here. So if you go to any profile page, this is the person, and this is what is known as the headline. This is what is known as the professional summary, and this is his experience detail. So this is the description under each positions. All right, so this is what we are looking at. Okay, so as you all know, I'm a big picture kind of a person, right? So LinkedIn is not a single thing. It is basically a part of your overall job strategy. So to create an effective profile, you first need to have a clear idea of what are you aiming for. So I would say that you should clearly think about what kind of roles are you looking at, what industry are you looking at, and to have 2 or 3 shortlisted job roles that you're trying to target. So for example, you could pick a data science role along with a product management role, along with a software engineer kind of position. Or in some other field, you could be looking at a hardware engineer, a firmware engineer kind of a role, along with some embedded systems specialization. So pick 2 or 3 areas that you're most likely going to recruit for, and have them clearly in your mind before you start creating your profile. Okay, now you must be wondering, why am I saying that, right? Because we all know that job hunt is a very keyword specific kind of a process, right? And LinkedIn is the biggest place where recruiters go and try to find candidates. And even if they have found you, even if your resume has been shortlisted, they're more likely to check in on your profile. So just to clear that first step so that your profile gets screened at least, or filtered in for the job role or for the interview, you need to have some intelligent keywords in your profile. Okay, so once we have shortlisted the roles that we are looking for, and in this example, like in this video, I am going to be talking about product management roles. So what I'm going to do is we have to first step is to collect some keywords that we can use in our profile. How we are going to do that? I'm going to show you that. So we are going to pick keywords from job postings and from other people's profile in that role. Okay, so 2 steps, right? So first of all, we are going to look at some job postings in product management role and see how they are describing the job. Okay, so I have done that for you. I have actually, so this is a product manager opening at Vimeo. So you can do a search on product manager internship and look into the job section. So this will give you job description and blah, 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 skills and knowledge, what they're looking for. So I have three openings here. This is product manager at Spotify, and actually this is the one that I really liked because it was using very specific language. So what we are looking for here is we are looking for how they are describing the role, as well as what are they looking for in the candidates, right? So who you are, this is the section which is relevant to us. So as you can see here, I am already seeing some keywords that they are using, like analytics, marketing automation, funnel metrics, machine learning, A/B testing. So these are some of the keywords that they are using to filter out candidates, right? Agile, data driven. So just take a look over some of these job postings and try to come up with 8 to 10 keywords for your specific role. So back to this Vimeo position, they have not actually done as well a job in describing it, but you can look in some of those things, like user growth is a good thing to mention, maybe analytically minded, data oriented. So data word has to come, analytical thing has to come somewhere, right? So these kind of things we are going to pick into. So they will give you a list of, let's say, 7 to 8 keywords that you have collected from the job postings, and you can look at 10 to 15 job postings, and I'm sure you'll find or shortlist enough number of keywords. Next step is to look at some other candidates or successful seniors who are working in this industry already. So I'm going to go back, and I have done a search on product management intern, and here is the search result, right? So another thing I want to point out to you guys is look at how the search results look on LinkedIn. You see the name, and then you see this is the headline, and you do not see anything else. So that is why this headline thing is important if you want to grab the attention. So anyway, so I had looked into some profiles, and I found something interesting. So this is a gentleman who has done product management stuff at Amazon, and he has actually he's a grad school student, and from there he has done couple of product management positions. So he's someone we can look up to, right? So what I'm going to do is, next I'm going to look into his professional summary. So this is the part, and as you can see, apart from his background and stuff, he is using exactly the keywords that we were looking at. So under specialties, areas of focus, or whatever you want to call it, this guy is listing those keywords. So this exactly validates our point. And if you can look at 5 or 6 of these good profiles, then you can again pick up some more keywords from here that you might not have found in the product job description. Secondly, it will also validate that the keywords that we picked from product job description are actually useful, because seniors in our industry are using it. So this is what we have done. So do this for couple of good people, like same here. I'm noticing similar kind of things here also, right? So this will give you, I'm pretty sure this will give you enough number of keywords to go to gun for. Okay, what's the next step, right? So product management examples. So we have looked at the examples. Next step is to create your profile. Okay, so how would you go about creating your profile? What I recommend is you first start listing down your positions, which you might have already done, right? If you already have a LinkedIn profile. So I'm not going to go into details here, but this is something like, position description as we do in the resume. So I've already done resume discussion on the blog and on another YouTube video. So you can take a look at that. The point to be noted here is that try to use the keywords that we have listed, as many of them as possible, relevant to the experience that you have. And of course, the same stuff like, quantify the impact you created, try to use as many like numbers or percentage or that kind of stuff. So if you have no clue what I'm talking about, then please head to scholarstrategy.com and look for our blog post on resumes, and you will know what I'm talking about. Okay, second step is to create your professional summary. And here again, professional summary is, as we saw in these examples, it's like, a paragraph on what you have done, and then you can literally list down specialities. But of course, instead of just listing all the keywords, you should list down specialities that are relevant to your background. So I'm not asking you to fake something, but I'm asking you to use the keywords that the industry is actively looking for. Now here I do want to point something out, that try to not make it too long, because on mobile devices we can only see first 92 characters and it truncates after that. So the idea is to have most valuable stuff in the first 92 characters. Secondly, it should be unique and human. I will discuss that in a bit. Also, this professional summary is not exactly what you create on the resume. The difference is because resume you would be tailoring for each position, each company, but LinkedIn has to be relevant to most of the roles you're applying for because you're not going to change your LinkedIn profile. So you have to keep it generic enough so that you can target multiple roles and multiple companies. So I would say that resume summary would be even more targeted and even more narrowed down to the company and the job role you're applying for. LinkedIn would be slightly wider than that. And the last step after you've done all this is when you will create your headline, and here you should highlight your brand names and experiences, and it is absolutely a very, very important part of your profile because this is what someone sees when they just click on the search result, or when they are just looking at just 2 seconds on your page, then the immediate thing that pops out is your headline. Okay, so now I'm going to give you some examples for all of these so that you can take some inspiration and understand what to do and what not to do. Okay, so by the way, this presentation would be available on our Scholar Strategy blog. So if you want to download it and read it at your leisure later on, you can do that. Because right now I'm just going to skim through it. But I want to highlight some important things. So I've picked up some good examples from various LinkedIn profiles. So I want to highlight something here because I know some of the candidates have worked with very small companies or startups that not everyone has heard of. So in that case, I like that you give basically a background of what that company is about. So if you see, Yum Brands is the parent company of KFC, Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. So this guy is describing that as an intern, he worked in a company which is parent company of all these. So that gives some sort of validation as to what kind of work he has done. And this is again the stuff that you discuss in the resume. So I'm not going to go into the detail here. Another example I would say is this is a product manager at Google, and the guy is trying to mention names that everyone is likely to know, and also giving a human touch as to what is the difference he was able to create, what was the product for. So he's saying, how can we motivate and leverage the local expertise of 1 billion plus users? So this is basically profile of Nirav. Let me show it to you. And I found his writing some he's writing in a way which is more connecting to the person, connecting to the reader, because he describes in a very user friendly manner, and he's not using some fancy buzzwords, but actually in a layman's language he's trying to describe what he has done. So I really like that. Okay, so these are the product description examples that you can look at. Next, we would look at some of the good and bad professional summaries that I came across, right? So this was actually from a grad student I saw: to obtain a career that will allow myself to take full advantage of my passion and experience in software engineering and computer science. So many things are wrong with it, right? First of all, there is no speciality described here. Within computer science, what are you focusing on? What are the areas that you're more comfortable in? I have no clue of your background. What have you done previously? Why should I really hire you? So you have wasted this important real estate on your LinkedIn profile by telling me nothing. And instead of it is actually better to leave it empty rather than write something which is completely useless. It actually gives a bad impression of you. So please don't write anything generic like this. Let us look at some important or better examples. So this is again Nirav's summary. So the way he has described is: I care deeply about building products that provide real value to users and create delight in big and small ways. Now you might say it's not telling me much, but actually I think this is a person and his confidence is showing through, that he knows what he has done and what is the impact it creates on his users. So I like it because see, one important thing is a lot of people are reading how to use LinkedIn, what are the keywords and all. But if your LinkedIn profile is just a robotic profile full of keywords, full of buzzwords, then you are not going to stand out. So first step is to have keywords in our profile, but next step is to make it more unique, make it more memorable, so that when I read, I'm more likely to remember you. And for that, you have to be human. You have to speak in a language that is unique, that is different from what everybody else is using, right? So in that aspect, I think he definitely makes him stand apart from other people. And then he goes into current interests and some buzzwords, what he has done, and these are the keywords related to his industry. So I like this. It's short, it's human, it has the keywords, but it's not sounding like a million other profiles out there. And I have one more example. This is a project manager, senior person. And again, if you'll see the first line, my projects stay on schedule and on budget. I can see that a human has written this. It's not a person just optimizing for keywords. It's not a professional who doesn't know how to say things. It's a human being sitting at the keyboard and writing this summary. So it definitely grabs my attention. And then similar stuff, He's again using some more keywords, Agile, Scrum, and Lean Six Sigma methodologies, which are relevant to project management, and some more relevant stuff here. So, and ideally this is a good length, right? You want to have one paragraph which is summarizing most important things, and then you can have specialities and then just like list the keywords which are relevant to you. Okay, and last but most important stuff is the headline example. So I've already told you why headlines are important, and so how to go about it. And here I'm going to go give you some tips specifically for your grad school life. So what I think matters in a headline is you should be talking about your brands. You should be talking about your important positions that you have held previously. And you should be highlighting any expertise. So if you have a domain specific expertise in something, and that is something you need to highlight. Other than that, brands are really important as a grad school student. So a recruiter is more likely to look at someone from MIT or Stanford or CMU rather than a lower ranked school. So whatever, if you're going to a branded school, if you have worked with branded companies before, then I would say that you should definitely try to highlight it. And I do have some examples for you guys. So this is the stuff, right? So this is the stuff. So for example, ex-Google CMU grad seeking big data jobs at startups. So here you can see the brands, Google, CMU, what you're recruiting for, and all those things. So I have Deloitte security competition winner is highlighting something that you think might be like, showing your competitive nature, or that you have been participating in these things and is relevant to what you're looking for. Plus Deloitte is a good brand name to flaunt. So now the mistake I see many grad students making is they just list that actively seeking for internships. What kind of internship? Plus, what is good about you? So you always have to give me something, highlight something in your background. It could be a startup you have done. It could be like, machine learning expert with, or it could be someone, if you have a good background, or if you have performed extremely well in competitive programming, then you can highlight that. So whatever it is, think of it like as what is your USP, what is your selling point, and try to put that somehow in the headline. And of course the seeking stuff you can always fit, but fit it along with the brand names, along with your expertise, along with why should I look at your profile, right? So this headline is very important to grab the attention. If it's interesting, if it's impressive enough, then I'm likely to click on your profile. Otherwise I won't, right? So take this very seriously. Okay, so those were the most important points, and I hope you have a better idea of how to make a good profile. So look at a lot of sample profiles, look at seniors in your industry and see what they're highlighting, and that will give you a ton of ideas. But I feel that LinkedIn is the way to go, and I don't think just having a killer profile on LinkedIn will help attract jobs. But what it does is, if a recruiter lands on your profile somehow, if your interviewer clicks on the link you have provided in your resume and somehow lands on your profile, he should leave after being impressed with you. So the key is, whoever comes to your profile, he should feel impressed with what you have. So whatever you have done, try to present it in an effective, in an impactful manner. So that is what we are gunning for here. Of course, as I said, it's a part of a bigger puzzle. It's an important part of your job hunt strategy. So pay enough attention to it, because this probably gets a lot of eyeballs in your job hunt days. You may not even realize that. Okay, so that's it from my side, guys. I hope you found it useful. If you have any questions or suggestions on what video can we do next, just feel free to comment in the comment section below. And apart from that, do subscribe to the channel or join us on the Facebook group on internships and job hunt. And we have many more resources for you there. Okay, so that's it from me. Take care and goodbye.